It's crazy to believe that 2025 is just around the corner. But here we are. And it's time to really look back at this past year and take a look at how much you really did for yourself, how much you really showed up for yourself, and what that resulted in. Because when you don't put in that work, you don't see the results. And when you don't see the results, you don't feel good about yourself. And that's not the type of energy we're trying to create in the new year. Because you have goals to achieve, dreams to pursue, and a beautiful future to build. But the current version of you isn't going to allow you to get there. And you don't have any more time to mess around. And that's exactly what I'll be discussing with you today. How to conquer all your goals in 2025 and finally meet the version of you that is required to chase all your wildest dreams. Because you're going to run 2025. It's not going to run you. So let's get started. Number one, this year has zero room and zero tolerance for energy that does not feel good. I'm talking about those people around you that you know have overextended their stay in your life. You need to let it go. I don't care how they're related to you or who they are. If it doesn't make you feel good inside, if it's disrespectful, if it throws you off, it needs to go. Because the negative impacts, they are detrimental to your future and the beautiful life you're trying to create. You know how heavy that is when you have people around you that drain you and drag you down? There's just no room for that. So you need to get very serious about the people you keep around you. Do they inspire you? Do they uplift you? Do they make you feel good? Do they honestly have your back? And do they honestly care about what you're doing with your life? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. Because your intuition does not lie. That feeling inside your body that gets your nervous system all messed up does not lie. Your mental health, those repetitive thoughts, do not lie. So listen to them. Listen to yourself. Listen to your feelings. Because people will poison you. And that cup you're filling will get polluted, will get murky. And you don't need that. You can't afford that with all the things that you need to conquer. And this goes hand in hand with self-care, because people that don't make you feel good inside and you keep allowing access to, allowing them into your life like a revolving door, living rent-free in your mind when you go over these negative thoughts, no, that needs to stop. You need to take a look at the 5 people you surround yourself the most with, because you're the 6th. You absorb that energy. You become like them. So if you're trying to level up and take your life forward, be very discerning of the company you keep, because that's going to determine how high you go and how far you go in life. And most of all, your well-being and happiness. So don't give that away for free anymore. Get serious with the energies and the people around you. Number 2, 2025 is going to require you to really take care of yourself. Your self-care needs to be top priority. You need to make sure you're in good shape, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, to conquer this life and everything that comes with it. And this goes for everything, from taking care of how you feel inside, whether that's doing affirmations, meditations, taking walks, journaling, getting a therapist, whatever it requires to make sure your energy and your mental health are in check and healthy and positive. You know, these past years have been tough. But if you're not solid and you're not pouring into yourself and taking care of yourself, you're going to get knocked down. And you know how that feels. So self-care is so important. Despite how busy you are, taking care of other people, work, or whatever else fills your plate. It's time to really get serious about putting time aside for you, to make sure your cup is full so that you don't feel drained trying to feed and fill other people's cups. And when I say self-care, I'm also talking about physically, taking care of your appearances, having certain routines in place so that you feel your best. I understand, au naturel, this, that. But at the end of the day, when you put effort into your appearances, you feel better. There's a different energy. So don't underestimate the power of putting effort into your appearance, how you look, because it directly affects how you feel and what kind of energy you're putting out. Enter the new year with a new energy. Become unrecognizable because you pour so much into yourself. That's the type of mindset to have, that you almost have to reintroduce yourself to people. This is your chance to rebrand yourself, to level up your look, to take it a step further, to really honor your inner child. Whether it's a fresh start, whether you just want to level up, or whether you just want to have a complete reset. You will see those types of changes when you show up for yourself over and over again. It's inevitable. So give that gift to yourself. It's time to really put the intention on yourself and take true care of yourself inside and out, because that is who you are, what you're putting out into this world. And it matters. So whether that's taking a look at how you're eating, to what you're consuming through social media, or with the type of places that you're going, this year you are going to put effort into how you look and how you feel. And that's going to be determined by your habits and how you care for yourself, those routines, and committing to them. Number 3, heal, heal, heal. Do the inner work that's required, because there's no way to level up and not do the inner work and healing that you need, that the best version of you needs. Do you know how important it is? Because when you're not healed, when you haven't done that inner work and really taken a deep dive into yourself and understood your patterns and behaviors, do you know what happens? You are going around this world putting out those unconscious behaviors, the things you're unaware of, because you didn't take the time to dig, to figure out why you do certain things and why your mind thinks a certain way, why your behaviors are such, why your patterns just keep repeating themselves. You need to get to the bottom of that stuff. You need to connect with your inner child, with younger versions of yourself, and really understand why you are the way you are. Do you know how powerful that is? Healing is the key. Inner work is the key that you need to open the door to the best version of yourself. Because it's heavy when you haven't done that type of inner work. Put that shit in the past. Those patterns need to be broken. All that childhood conditioning, all those old beliefs and patterns need to be shattered. You need to recognize what you truly believe in and what's truly yours, and not what's been taught to you, told to you, fed to you, and the things that have manipulated you for way too long. It's time to break all of that down and come into yourself and take that version with you throughout the year. That powerful version, because you get to live in authenticity when you do that type of shadow work, inner work. It's a whole other level. And your goals and dreams need that. They need you to step into your truth and understand more of who you truly are. That way, nobody can tell you anything about you. No, because when you don't know yourself, this world will tell you who you are. But when you do that inner work and you unlock all of that information about yourself, nobody can tell you who you are, because you are aware at a whole other level. And that awareness will also give you confidence. It is an asset. It is something that you need to carry throughout life, because life only gets better when you tap in. So don't underestimate the power of healing and doing deep-rooted inner work. Your patterns and behaviors cannot remain unconscious. You have to shed light on those things. You need to see them for what they are so that you can make the shifts required. And that's how you elevate to a better version of yourself. Number 4, let go of those bad habits and anything that is getting in your way or slowing you down. And you know exactly what those things are. I don't need to sit here and tell you, but you need to start to get serious about cutting shit out that is getting in your way, because you know that is blocking the success. You know that is blocking the best version of you. And you know it is coming in the way of what you truly desire. Because when you do different, you put in different, you think different, and you show up different, you will see the results. You will see the success. It's almost guaranteed. And you need to commit. You need to declare. You need to make sure that's prioritized, because often you're just getting in your own way. There's no need to point fingers. You need to be very honest with yourself, because you know yourself better than anybody, and you know exactly what's getting in your way. And that's the first step, is to even realize that these things are your blocks, that they're slowing you down. It may not be easy, because nobody wants to admit where they're falling short, where they're not showing up for themselves. But it's an important first step to make the actual changes that you need. So what you're going to do is identify what habits are in need of a change. And make sure you're realistic about these changes. Small steps are better than staying stuck or going too fast and then not truly experiencing long-term shifts and changes. So you need to be realistic with what's going to work. You need to be realistic of the type of effort, work, time that you can put into shifting those things. And lastly, it's super important for you to track and measure your changes. You have to have some sort of system in place or something that allows you to see the positive impacts of the changes that you're making. That's how you're truly going to see what differences have been made in your life, how much you've improved, and what your next steps are. Because that's also the motivation and the fuel you need to see your hard work pay off and to see results. So it's a very important part of the process to not only identify what's getting in your way and to not only commit to it, but to track and measure your progress in front of your eyes and allow that to keep you going. So get serious about making the changes you need, because the position you're in right now, feeling stuck, that's not going to get you where you need to go. So you need to do a full inventory of everything that is getting in your way, because it's you versus you at the end of the day. Number 5, you need to invest in knowledge. Teach yourself a new skill. Take on a new hobby and gain new knowledge. That is a type of pouring into yourself that you can't just buy. It's invaluable to give yourself that gift. And there's no excuses. You have the internet. You have information at your fingertips. You can learn anything in this world. And that's how you start to feel powerful, because knowledge is power. That's confidence. Your conversations are different when you teach yourself new things. You enter rooms in a different energy. So whether that's reading books, whether that's YouTube, whether that's attending seminars, really prioritize pouring knowledge into yourself, new hobbies, new skills. Build yourself up. Make yourself even more valuable. And that's how you're going to level up this year and go into the next year a whole new version of yourself. Learn a new skill. Teach yourself something that you know nothing about. And you know how many skills can be monetized these days? The best case scenario is that you learn a new skill that feels so good and natural to you, and you monetize and create a business out of it. That's the type of times we're living in. You can do this kind of stuff. Stop wasting your time watching TV on the couch, just wasting your life away. There's a whole world out there for you to tap into. So many new things for you to feed yourself and learn. So it's a shame if you're going to sit there and stay the same and not give yourself this gift. You know how much you're going to satisfy your inner child by exploring new hobbies, by doing things that your younger self loved to do, and now you've suppressed that part of you? Do you know how much that's going to make you feel alive? But yet you underestimate the power of new hobbies. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your heart. It's great for your overall well-being. And that's a key to feeling fulfilled and happy. So don't forget to put yourself out there to try new things. Nobody's watching. And what's the worst that can happen? You don't like it, you try something else. You're not good at it, you don't do it again. It's something that is going to add tremendously to your personal life. So make sure you put time into that kind of stuff this year. Don't sleep on giving yourself that, because the impacts that's going to make in your life are priceless. And that's how you become unrecognizable. Is when you show up knowing new shit, having new skills, and just feeling like the boss that you are. It's crazy to believe that 2025 is just around the corner. But here we are. And it's time to really look back at this past year and take a look at how much you really did for yourself, how much you really showed up for yourself, and what that resulted in. Because you know, when you don't put in that work, you don't see the results. And when you don't see the results, you don't feel good about yourself. And that's not the energy we're trying to create in the new year. So really take this seriously and commit. Commit to you. It'll always be worth it. That is time, effort, and energy that will never go to waste. Because you know you put your time into things that don't give you anything in return. So it's time to really get serious about you and making this year yours. Claim it. You have everything inside you that's required. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you for the next one. Thank you for all the love and support. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.